Yeah, hi, hello friends. We are going to learn the very basic program of Android. The program name is addition of two number. Uh, See, I just launched the Android Studio for that, and now, first of all, we are going for the design. It has a design file. The file name is activity main, and the code file name is main activity. Okay, so first of all, we can say the default is a relative layout, and I would like to tell you about the relative layout. Relative layout are layout where the all the widgets like text view, edit text are related to each other. Like I want to put the one edit text here, so I'm going to say that it should put below to text view. So in this way the relative layout work, but we are going for the linear layout, which is very simple layout, where it is basically of two types, horizontal and vertical. In a horizontal linear layout, the views are in a horizontal direction, like two text view in a one row, two buttons in a one row, in this way. So we are going for the linear layout, and orientation will be vertical. Here you can see that there is a padding is there. Okay, and by default there is a one text view hello world is there. You can see the preview here. Okay, you can click on here. It is giving me the error because there is some issue is here. You can see the following classes could not be found because the V7 internal has a window decoration error. It is could not find this resources action bar, window decoration action bar. Okay, this is action bar and he cannot find it because it's a previous version of Android Studio where it has this issue because the style has deprecated. This theme is deprecated, so for the latest theme we just have to put the one base word here. Okay, so now just go back to layout file and you can see that that issue has resolved. Okay, now as I put the orientation vertical, I need to have a two edit text where user going to enter the number, and I want to have a one button. On click of that button, the addition will be calculated, and I want to have a one text view where the result will be shown. We already have a one text view, so you can put the text here like enter the number. Okay, but it is not a good practice to enter a text like this. Sometimes it is happen that we have to use the multiple languages, like my app is in Hindi, my app is in English. I want to have multiple languages into my application. At that time it is not it will be very difficult to change the every text which I entered here. So for that reason it is good practice to create the resources, and that resources will be created in this string file here. Okay, and if user want to have a app in a Marathi language or English language or French or Spanish or any other language, so we just have to change the we have to done the changes here, so that we have not to do many we do not get many conflict. So that's the reason we are not going for the shortcut. We are just going to here. We just click on here, and here click on here as well. Go for the new resource, new string value, and whatever name you want to give, you can give it here. Like I'm giving the text view number 1, and value will be like enter number 1. Okay, and I want to have this view as a match parent for better look. So I'm going here. You can see layout width. I'm just putting this as a match parent. Okay, so you can see that the width has increased, and it is matching as per the size of the device which we have chosen. I have chosen the Nexus 4 for the preview, and as we are using the match parent, so it will be matched with the any device. If you go for the tablet as well, so it will automatically match with the tablet as well. If you go for the small device, it also going to match with the small device as well. Okay, now we are going for the another views which is called as the edit text. Okay, where user going to enter the number. I am going to use it as a match parent once again, and the height will be the wrap content. Okay, every view should have to give the edit text. Every view should have a ID. Like text view should have a ID, like android ID, text view number 1. Okay, and edit text will have a ID like edit text number 1. Okay, every resource should have an ID, because with the help of this ID it will going to identify it. Like every person has a different name. In this way, every widgets, every views should have a different name, different ID in one application at least. Okay, so we have created for the text view and it takes for the number 1. Like this way, we have to create the same thing for the second number, the text view and edit text. So we are just copy and pasted, and we are going to change the ID as it should have a unique. That's the reason it is giving the error. Okay, I just changed. Now I have to change the string resources as well. Okay, we can create the string resources directly from here as well. I just created 2, and then alt plus enter, create a string resources, and you can put the string value like text enter number 2 in this way. And here there is no need of to change anything. Now we need a one button where on click of that button the action will be going to happen. It will be the match parent, and height will be the wrap content. It also should have a ID. ID will be the button addition. I always give the full name like text view, edit text, because it's a good practice to identify. Most of the I found that most of the programmer use the like BT, ET, the short form, but I do not like it. So I just put the all complete form button addition. You can do it as per your choice. The default background is a gray color, I'm going to change it like Android background color will be like a blue. Blue dark or blue bright. Okay, blue bright. No, blue bright not working good way. So blue. What about yellow? Not yellow. Red. Red dark. Red light. I think it could be red. Orange. Dark. It's fine. Okay, now Android. We want to have an Android text over that button. We are creating the string resources like @string and string we add. Okay, so Alt press enter, create resources, addition. Okay. You can say that default color is a black color. If you want to change the text color, so you can go for the proper Android text color, Android color white. Okay, so you can see that the color has changed. Now I want to have one text view where the result will be shown, and it will be the below to text view. So it will be text view, and it will be like a match parent, and it should be the wrap connecting. Okay, and it should have an ID. Android ID will be like text view result. Okay, so here result will be shown. It need to be have some space from the above, so that's the reason I'm using the property like layout margin from top like a 20 dB. Okay, and I want to have enough big in size, so that's the reason I'm just using the property like Android text 25 SP. Always remember that the text size or something should use in a SP, and a margin or padding. If you're using margin or padding, so you should go for the DP. Good practice. Okay, so now we are going for we have done the design part. Now we are going for coding. So we are going for be in a Java, then package name, then class name is a main activity here. So in a main activity you can see that I extended with the app compact activity. You can do it with the activity. This message is on create is here, and it set the layout activity main, the design file which we have created. Okay, so here we are going to declare the views like text view, result, okay. You get this error, so you just have to do the one simple thing, Alt plus enter. So it will be import this file, Android widget text view. That's it. Now we have to edit text. Edit text number 1, and edit text number 2, and we have a button add. Okay, so that's that views we are going to use here, and that view need to be initialized, and that views will be initialized with the name, with the method name is find view by ID. So we are going for the first view, text view result equal to we just converted in our first text view, and then we go for the method find view by id, and that view id stored in a file name r. R is a resource file where all the widgets id is declared, and we can access it by the method r.id dot text view result. So this find view by id find all the resource id from this r file. Okay, it is an invalid file of Android, and it is matched with this text view which is declared in our code, and it is casted in a text view. In the same way we have to do it for this edit text and button as well. So I'm doing it in a fast way. Edit text view first one, then we are using the method find view by id r.id.edit text number 1. okay, it will give me the error, and it will tell me that found this view, but it need to be converted in a edit text. So we just go for the alt plus enter, and it will cast it to this, and it will import this widgets. Okay, now edit text number 2, second, same way, find view by id r.id.edit text number 2, and it will be again alt plus enter, cast it to edit text. Now again button add, same way, find view by id r.id.button addition, and it we just cast it in the button. Okay, so we have initialized all these things. Now we want to have that on click of this button, the result will be shown here. Okay, so we are just doing the one listener with on this button add. So we are, for that, just use that button add dot set on click listener. This is a method. Okay, set on click listener. Now you just have to put this new and just give the one space, then click O, and you can see the method on click listener. That's it. Okay, now in this method we want to have a number which is a user going to enter. So for that we are going to declare that numbers like integer number 1, number 2, and result. Okay, so now number 1 we can get it from the edit text 1. Here user going to enter the number 1, and here user going to put the number 2. Okay, so we have to get that number by method edit text number 1 dot get text, and you can see that this is it is telling me that it is found in an array table, but we need to have an integer. So first we need to convert it in a string. Okay, then we will convert in a integer in an integer form. For that method is integer dot %, in this way. Okay, same for the number 2, integer dot %, then edit text number 2 dot get text dot to string. It's a semicolon. Now result, we want to have a result, so result will be the number 1 plus number 2. That is simple formula for adding the two number. So we got the number in this variable number 1 and second number in number 2, and we put this two we put the addition of two number this on this variable's result. Okay, now we just have to show this result on the text view. Name is text view result, and for that method is text view result dot set text. Okay, here we just put the result. That's it. And to execute, you just have to go here, or you can go from here and run app. There is two options here. I'm just going for here. I already launched the emulator. Okay, I'm just launching this program. My laptop configuration is a 8 GB RAM, so that's the reason I can launch the inbuilt emulator. But if you have a less configuration laptop or computer, so you can launch it is on your mobile by using the USB device, USB cable. It's up to you. I'm repeating all the thing. This is a text view, this is a edit text, this is again text view, then edit text, this is a button, and at the end it is a text view. Here user going to put the number 1, here either number 2, and on click of that button, on click of this button, we will get the result, and it will be shown here. Okay, and for that I use the linear layout and vertical orientation. Now you can see that it is launched, and I'm just putting the numbers 65 and number 2 like that 23, and click on this button addition. I got some error. It is an Android monitor where get the error, and I can see that the text view result has some issue also, some problem. Okay, it is telling me that a resource not found. Text view resource not found. Okay, why it is so? Yeah, the reason is that set text need to have a string, so we are convert, and in the result is a integer. That's reason maybe it is a problem. So I'm just converting into string, and I'm going to execute it once again. It will ask me that choose a running device. It is a emulator which I created already. To create the emulator, you just have to go this AVD manager, and you can create a new device, then select the phone as per your choice, click on next, and then finish. That's a simple steps. I'm just putting the number 65 plus 23. Okay, I got the result 88. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.